Alright, here we are. We're watching the Demon Slayer movie today. I'm freaking stoked for it. Gavin looking like he's a supermodel out of the back of the window there.
You know what all supermodels do?
What do supermodels do? They fart. Anyway, watching Demon Slayer today. We read the manga, so I mean, there's that. But we're gonna be watching it. We obviously can't record in there, but then we're gonna be doing a smaller review on the movie as a whole, how we thought it stood up to the manga, just in general. We've heard good things so far, so we're really excited to get into it. Hopefully you guys are too. But anyway, let's get rolling. Ooh, we're on the parkway. Let's do this. One step closer, baby. Dude, I got on that Easy Pass life recently. Life-changing. I feel like a king, bro, when I got that compared to like peasants when they throw their thing in the change. Yo, on a real note though, favorite Demon Slayer moment in the anime, obviously we don't want to spoil people, so far.
The last episode, dog.
Really?
That whole
Just like
episode.
the whole episode?
The whole episode.
I would say, so Giyu and Shinobu's entrances, like when they come into the forest and just wreck these demons.
Honestly, any part with Inosuke in it. Already got that out of the system.
Oh man.
All right, we're out here, we're ready. Let's do this. We've just arrived at the theater. Demon Slayer awaits. We will be back in no time.
2 hours later.
All right, we are back from the Demon Slayer movie. I wanted to record in the car, but it's really dark out right now, so we figured it'd be better for us to get back to HQ here, set up a camera, and just kind of shoot the shit about a couple of our thoughts on the movie and all that kind of good stuff. So, I mean, spoiler alert, we loved it. We couldn't contain ourselves. We were talking about it in the car, but again, we've read the manga, and this did not disappoint. It hit it virtually beat for beat, like 99.9%, which was something that was really cool. Obviously not getting into anything, and if you're an anime only, like, man, oh my god, not knowing what's gonna happen is a whole other experience, I would assume. But yeah, they really did justice to the manga, and the animation was literal god tier. I actually don't know an anime right now that competes with this sort of animation. Like, it's...
Yeah, at least not on such a consistent level.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen anime that, like, damn, that episode was really popping. Or, like, you know what I mean? Through a 26 or so, they'll have good episodes. But, like, I remember the Demon Slayer Season 1 anime. Every episode. Like, there was not a single episode where I was like, oh. Like, it was, all of them were enjoyable to watch. And this movie was just a 2-hour version of that.
Yeah, for sure. That was something incredible to behold. I mean, like, from the start of the movie, I literally turned to Isaiah and I'm like, are we in the right movie?
Yeah.
Because the animation was so freaking good that I literally thought it was like they were shooting real shots.
Like, the anime characters almost looked out of place in the setting.
Because
the setting looked so pseudo-real that but then you saw these, like, very obvious anime characters, and I'm like, guys, I think we did too good a job here.
Yeah. Freaking crazy.
Yeah, and I think, because you were sort of saying it before, one of the things that I really loved about it is how, even as a manga fan, how invested I got in the movie. Like, it retells the story so well that I promise, if you have watched, if you're an anime only, like, you'll definitely, because you don't know the story, so you'll definitely get caught up in it. But if you've read the manga and, you know, for some reason you're still, like, not sure if you should see this movie, fuck that noise. Go see this movie.
Honestly, don't even read the manga. It's completely mid compared to this movie, especially if they if they really cover the entire series, which it probably will be for as popular as it is. Like, it's not even worth reading the manga, if I'm being completely honest, because it's just so worth it being animated. Like,
I would say,
I'm just saying.
No, I mean, it's fair. The only thing I would say about reading the manga is if you don't want to wait for the story.
Sure.
Because it's already done.
Yeah.
But, because I will say, even as somebody who's read the manga, there is still value in me watching the anime, and it is just that. It is just the visual aspect that this brings to the story.
I think a lot of the plus side, and I see where you're coming from, for sure, is that you get to see this story animated, right? Which was awesome, but you get to see a whole new layer of it, right? Because seeing, you know, Rangoku, the Fire Hashira, like, actually cut loose and go to work in the train and all that kind of stuff, like, you could get an idea of what that was while reading it. But you can't even, like, I couldn't even fathom, like, when they actually animated it, that it was like, wow, that was, like, incredible, down to the sounds and, like, him just, like, blasting off.
I kind of compare it to Attack on Titan, where our general consensus is we're not reading it because it's so good animated, and that's what I feel like Demon Slayer is. Like, honestly, like, same thing with this movie. Like, you guys were, like, bawling. Like, me,
I cried.
It literally couldn't hit me emotionally because I already knew what was happening, and I was actually annoyed for the fact that watching it through this medium was 800 times better, and I wish I got the emotional beat from that because it completely deserved it and way outshined the manga in my opinion. So
Said
the cynic. And the stone cold bastard with no heart. No, just kidding. No, dude, I totally agree though. I do personally think that if there is an anime out there that does the manga justice, and not just justice, but I think outshines it, in my personal opinion, coming from someone who's read it, I do believe Demon Slayer is just that. Like, a lot of the time the conversation is, did the anime do the manga justice, right? Like, did it go up to par? It's not necessarily like, was the whole thing better? Like, this just blows it away. Like, blows it away obviously for what anime can do, you know, the soundtrack, the visuals, all that kind of thing, and still hits all of those big story beats, but it makes it just feel, you feel so much more enmeshed in the world of Demon Slayer. And yeah, this movie really freaking delivered, man. It was
I think
fantastic.
the other thing too, because for some reason some people still don't know this, but this movie is a canon continuation of the Demon Slayer story.
Yeah.
So this section is in the manga, like as we've been referenced, it is in the manga and it is part of the actual story. So you can't just like not watch season 1 and then watch this movie and like you won't know what the fuck's going on, who anybody is, and I promise you, this movie literally only hits if you know all these characters and the story going in. Like, you have to know who Tanjiro is, you have to know why he's here, you have to know what the setup is here, because they set it up at the end of season 1. But like, yeah, if you have not watched season 1, go watch it just to watch this movie. Like, I literally feel like this movie sells Demon Slayer as well as the season 1 does.
Yeah, I agree.
And I wonder if that actually is running into problems because it doesn't really have itself titled as like a continuation. So I just know people who like go into movies to watch random movies.
Sure.
You know, like I think you said with like a My Hero movie, like a random family member just happened to stumble upon it and was like, let me give this a shot. Where like you could pretty much hop into it and like pick up the pieces as they fall. But for like Demon Slayer, if just like your Joe Schmo was like, I want to check out this movie, they're gonna be completely lost and there's no indication because it's just Demon Slayer Hell Train, which like it's kind of like interesting when you think about it. Like,
yeah, you could. Well, I guess so. The premise is though, if you haven't seen season 1, like you don't even know. There's no setup for anything, right? Which I think would give away that like you're supposed to know these things and these people going in. Where it's like a My Hero movie that's not even canon will kind of do all that setup in the movie, so you don't even have to worry about the show. You can kind of just watch the movie for what it is and then like walk out and do your own thing.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword. Yeah, it's a double-edged sword because I personally love the fact that this is canon, because I will say that I'm actually not a huge fan of anime movies in general due to the fact that they're not canon, so I know that a lot of what I'm watching doesn't really have any bearing at all on what the main story is. So I'm like, okay, I'm here for the visuals, I'm here for all that, but like at the end of the day, I could kind of take it or leave it, it doesn't really change much. Whereas being that this movie is canonical and goes with the canon, it really hit that much harder to be like, okay, this is actually really relevant, and I feel like the stakes within the movie and the parts of suspense were, you know, that much more amplified because it's like, it's real, this matters. Like, going forward, this is going to be continuing off of what this movie just laid out. Fantastic overall. You know, definitely worth the watch, I have to say. I would genuinely rate this movie, if I had to say, like a 10 out of 10. If I'm being completely honest, if I wanted to be like that guy and be like nothing's perfect, a 9 out of 10, but like it's virtually there, you know. I mean, you're not gonna get much better because again, this follows the manga almost verbatim. There was one super particular moment that some manga readers might be a little turned off by, and it's very short because Gavin and I were talking about it in the car. So if you're a manga reader, you might know what I'm talking about, but if not, you won't even notice it. It's literally, it just passes you by, and like the movie, it doesn't really suffer for it at all. So it's a straight up, it would be like a 10 out of 10, all other things considered. Like, animation was fire, the story was amazing, obviously. Love to see these characters again. It's just been too damn long. Inosuke is my literal spirit animal. I love that character to death. And Tanjiro too is just so pure of heart. But just all these characters, you know, are just fantastic. The fight scenes were absolutely incredible. The soundtrack yet again slaps. I love their soundtrack that they have for Demon Slayer. It's like so different. So different. I love it. Yeah, it was just great all around. I don't know if there was anything else that you guys were trying to...
I mean, yeah, also I would definitely give it a 10 out of 10. I virtually, you know, I thought it was absolutely fantastic. Again, the movie is canon, so you 100% should watch season 1 if you are considering watching the movie, and if you if you needed a reason to watch this, or rather to watch season 1, like, this movie's it. You should watch these if you were up in arms or like, you know, kind of on the fence. I would watch season 1 just so you can watch this movie and understand it, because I promise you, again, even as a manga reader who literally knew the whole story, everything hit. I was completely enthralled in everything, and I just, these characters, like Ian was saying, it like brought up so many things, because it has just felt like such a long time since season 1 of the anime ended, and like it was so good to see these characters again. And like I said before, dude, but Natsuki Hane fucking killed it as Tanjiro as usual.
Yeah,
I absolutely love that man. The way and the expressiveness and the emotion that he gets out of his voice for that character is unparalleled in my opinion. Yeah, I watch it. Watch the season 1 and then go watch this movie. That's my thing.
Yeah, no, you literally 10 out of 10. You can't get any better. Like, quite literally, if there is better, then you better tell me, because it's impossible. Literally, like, it was like 8K freaking animation.
Yeah.
Like you can't complain. Like, quite literally, there isn't. I can't come up with any complaint other than the one super tiny thing, which is honestly irrelevant because it's completely outshined by everything else.
Yeah.
So,
It's just
absolutely
incredible.
amazing.
But
Watch it.
Anyway, watch the movie. Fan-flippin-tastic. Can't wait to
Nezuko.
Yeah.
Who said that?
I don't know. Someone who's right.
It's an episode.
Yeah. Anyway, folks, that's going to do it for us. Make sure you guys are smashing like if you liked this vlog, this video, subscribing to the channel, hitting the bell if you are new here for anime content out the wazoo. Comment your thoughts down below as well. Obviously, do not spoil anything if you did watch the movie, and be courteous, because anyone who's not watching it in theaters will have to wait for like at least another month at the time of recording to watch it digitally. So, you know, make sure everybody's gets a fair shot. But let us know what you thought of the movie, just in general. If you thought it was worth it, anything you liked in particular, without spoiling anything, obviously. Hit us up in the description down below as well, where you can support the show by joining Discord, hitting us up on Patreon. Our reaction channel is there as well, etc. Don't want to miss it. But anyway, folks, until next time, thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you on the flip.
Peace.
I'ma do this for Britannia. Sins with me, that's a stand up. Press play, don't disobey, then you get judged by.
You motherfucker. You can't fucking elbow my knee and then go, fuck you.
Motherfucker, good shut your dick.
That's like if I kicked you in the balls. I was like, Gavin, shut up. What are you yelling about?
Look at man. I have my elbow just the same.
Holy fuck. Why are you like this?
Apostles of anime. Apostles of anime. Apostles of anime. Ayo, way, ayo, okay. Look, apostles of anime. Apostles of anime. Press play, don't disobey, then you get judged by apostles.